me make sure I'm recording. I forgot to record. Okay, perfect. Now we're up and recording. Okay, sweet. So if you want to replay this on YouTube, make sure to put your comments in the description, or sorry, the comments below. And from there we can review any questions you guys have about strategy mode, any trades. We can answer those later in the comments. So put those in if you have any right now. Put them into the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching the live version of this, put them into the chat right now. In the meantime, I'm gonna be going through your CAD. So I'll be sharing my screen here quickly. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound okay? Sound is good? Okay, thanks Linda, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna switch to this playlist, watch list. I always say playlist instead of watch list. I don't know why I keep messing those up. Okay, so we're looking at EuroCAD. EuroCAD has been in a tricky situation just because it's kind of in a neutral level where it could either be downtrending or uptrending. And sometimes we reach these pivot points to the market where we really can't know, if it's going to be going up or going down. So we have to look at some other alternative analysis to see what the market is doing, and then see if we can kind of come to a conclusion based on that. Of course, it's it could be right, could be wrong. We don't know. We work with what we have, and then we just play it based on probabilities. So EuroCAD, has been going between uptrending, downtrending. You might have been able to close one and break even today for your longs, and your shorts might have been triggered today as well. So you might be thinking, what do I do now? I have buys open, I have sells open. What do I do? So we never want to close a position, in a loss, or we never want to close a position when it's in drawdown. So if we either want to let it hit TP or stop loss, but we never want to do a manual exit. The best thing you guys could do if you're confused, if you're in indecision, or the trade is bouncing around like today on EuroCAD, you can move your TPs to break even. So when price comes back, then you have the opportunity to get out at break even. Like today on EuroCAD, this is a good time to get out at break even once price hits your TPs. So if you're in both buys and sells, I would just move my TPs to break even on all the trades. If you want to get out, there's plenty of other trades you guys can set up. There's always going to be more opportunities in the markets. So if you guys miss this trade, if you close everything at break even, that's no problem. There's always going to be more opportunities. Make sure to watch the video from yesterday where we go through the weekly trade review if you want to check out some other trades. But if you're indecisive, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're too emotional about this trade, just close it out at break even. Don't do manual exit, move your TPs to break even, and then you can get out like that. Overall though, we have been a pretty good uptrend on this. So we had a nice big push up, we had a retracement, and then we went up again, and now we're having another retracement. So the way I look at these things is I want to look at the structure in the market. So on a daily, we can clearly see how price is forming lower lows and lower highs. So if this is a high, we can see price went down, formed a new lower high, went down again, and formed a new lower high. So now we have to predict what the next move is going to be. Is it going to be going up or going down? So based on the structure here, we can see how price was doing lower highs and lower lows. So it broke the previous low here and created a new low. And now we can see how price is testing this neutral level over here. And we can see previously how price was moving in this wave. So what I'm expecting this to happen is, since it broke this low here, now it's retesting it. I'm thinking it'll go back down to the support. From there, I can create a double bottom or continue falling down to the next support. But I do see some more shorts on this. Of course, given the trend right now that it's kind of indecisive, it doesn't know where to go. It could also go up. So it could break this low here and then continue going up. Again, it's something we don't know. It's something we can't predict. We can only trade what we see. So, that's daily. We can look at the weekly, but that's really going to be a little too much. But let's have a look just for fun. Yeah, so on the weekly, we can see it broke below or neutral. So we can really expect, I think, some more bears on this. So if you want to keep your shorts open, feel free. Again, if you're too indecisive, you can move everything to break even. I do have shorts open for this as well. I'm just going to let everything play out just according to the plan. Yeah, that's EuroCAD. Really, nothing really else to talk about here, I think. If you have questions about this trade, let me know. We can go through that too. If there's any other questions, you can pop them into the chat like always. Is there any way we can tell that the trend might change? Basically by looking at the structure. So look at the, if the market, so a trend is based on price, and price, or you get an uptrend when you have higher highs and higher lows. So if I open my whiteboard here, so if this is our whiteboard, of course this is going to be perfect. The market has moved like this, but just to give you guys an idea. So in an uptrend, this is an uptrend. We can identify an uptrend if there's higher highs and higher lows. So if this is our low, this is a higher low, higher low, higher low, and this is a high, higher high, higher high. So if we see higher highs and higher lows, that means we're in an uptrend or bullish momentum. Because sometimes you can have an uptrend, but short term you might have like a short term downtrend. So if you're day trading, that's going to be a little different. But on a daily, this is the best way to identify if it's uptrending or downtrending, but just by looking at the structure. If it's downtrending, same thing. So if this is our downtrend, beautiful downtrend, this is our high, this is our lower high, lower high, lower high, this is our low, lower low, lower low. So just by looking at that structure, that's the best way to look at things. Of course, you guys could also, maybe let me go back to the navigator. If you guys are struggling with that, you can always use trend lines to kind of connect the highs and lows. So trend lines, I really don't recommend using trend lines just because there's so many different ways to draw it. It's gonna confuse you a little bit on your entries. So you can use it to identify the trend, don't use it for anything else. So for example, we can connect the highs and lows. We can clearly see how price is downtrending, right? So very simple analysis, really, I'm sure you guys know this already. But yeah, so just look at the structure, that's the best way to do it. Higher highs, higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs. That's how I do it personally. Okay guys, any questions? I tried to place a strategy mode sell limit order in the DGPY yesterday, but MD4 wouldn't accept, invalid. Okay, yeah, easy peasy. Yeah, if you review the video from yesterday where we go through all the pairs, all the trades, you can't set the one up because price is trading above your entry. So you can't set up sell limits if price is above the entry, because for short positions, price needs to be below the entry. So we want price trading below here. Once price is trading below it, then you can set up your short entry. So there's nothing really here to do yet. You just have to wait for price to come down below your entry, and then you can execute your sell limits. Good question, Linda. Linda's asking if there might be a recalculation coming once price goes below support, and I believe yes. Usually that's something you can see, but that doesn't mean that this trade is invalid. It's just because when the algo recalculates, the levels change, and then the strategy mode will also change. In the future, we can display multiple trades at the same time. So, but yeah, I do believe once price comes down, we can probably see the first TP somewhere here, and then the second would be this. So that's very likely to happen once this here breaks. And at that point, you can adjust your, well, you wouldn't be open. So probably when it recalculates, you're not going to be in the trade yet. So once that happens, just use the values that are on the screen. If you're in the trade and it recalculates, for example, it changes the stop loss, don't change that, just let the trade run its course. Stick to the original values the trade gave you when you first opened it. Yeah, Linda, just wait for, there's no trade here anyway, so just wait for the recalculation, wait for price to go below the entry first, and from there we can see how you can enter this trade. Is there a way to enter this trade and anticipation of it breaking? Now we don't wanna, if you enter now, you'll be selling on support. So that's classic number one, a retail trader makes. Classic mistake number one a retail trader makes, which is selling on support. So we don't want to sell as we can see we got support here, and we don't want to sell on support. We want to wait for this resistance, or this used to be a resistance, it still is, but not on the lower time frames. We want to wait for these S's to turn into neutral levels, N's, or we want them to turn into R's. And that's only going to happen if price goes below our entry. When that happens, then this trade is going to be valid. What's the difference between a dot and a diamond? The dot is only on the far left, so you're only going to see the dot on the far left hand side. This just identifies the highest time frame. The diamonds are just the ones on the right, and it's really just there to make the make it easier for you to read the levels. You can imagine if there wouldn't be any diamonds or circles here, it would be pretty tough to read. David is asking, oh sorry, no, Hacks is asking if we can check out AUD USD, and we sure can. Yeah, nothing really to do here. So let me know what you're looking for, Hacks. You have a specific question? Let me know. But yeah, there's nothing to do here on this trade, on this pair. I saw Lynn is asking, I saw in an earlier Q&A that you split screen, so 2 trades on the screen. I tried this, but I'm not succeed. Can you show us how to split? I believe you mean like in the navigator. So you would just take your chart and then you can drag it around, or did you mean opening 2 different pairs at the same time? Okay, got it. Yeah. So the way this works is you need a color coded watch list. Let me close all of these. So the color you see here on the right, it's right now it's orange. So this orange color, this orange watch list is linked to the orange chart on the left. You can see this one here is blue. This blue chart is linked to this blue chart on the left. So if I click on Amazon stocks, you can see it now switched to Amazon. If I click on something else here, it's not going to change on the orange chart, it's just going to change on the blue. So that's how they're linked. So if I go to the orange watch list here and I click on Euro CHF, for example, you can see it's now changed to Euro CHF on my orange chart. Does that make sense? Euro CHF has been going on for ages now. Is there any way we can predict when it will break out? We can't predict breakouts, but we can predict the retest. So, so just straight retest if it does break up. But again, that would be a counter trend trade. So something you don't want to do. If it's to the downside, of course. If it's to the upside, again, it's something we can't predict. We'll see when it breaks. It's likely it's just going to break to the downside at this point. But yeah, USCHF has been very, very wonky. Wonky. So we'll see how this one goes. Yeah, but breakouts, we can't predict breakouts. Okay, cool guys. Any other questions? So USD CHF, for example, if you have this trade set up and the trade now disappeared from strategy mode, you don't need to delete your pendings. You can still keep your pendings. It's still a valid trade. So just because the algorithm doesn't show the trade anymore, doesn't mean you have to cancel your limits. So you can keep your limits, keep everything as it is, and just let the trade play out. So this was a trade that was there last week, but now it's gone. You can still keep it. I saw today on one line SNNR. Yeah, sometimes you'll get those. So that basically means that the support was turning neutral, and from a neutral level, it's now turning into resistance. So basically, it's a support level that slowly wants to turn into resistance. Doesn't mean it is a resistance. It just means on the low time frames, it's slowly moving into a resistance. But on the higher time frame, it's still a support. When would you personally set your strategy mode trades to break even? Is there a rule of thumb you'd recommend? Usually, yeah, just change of trend. That's the most common one for me on strategy mode. So if I see a change of structure, like a change of trend, then I'll move it to break even. For example, your CAD is at break even for me right now. Other than that, it's pretty set and forget for me on strategy mode. Okay, any other questions? Might be getting a entry here soon on your USD. So we'll see how that plays out. Had a really good trade on Alibaba. This was a good trade on its way to TP2. If any of you are trading stocks, this one was quite good. Except my TP is a little higher. I just based it on X mode, so I'm probably going to be I'll close a little bit here, but then my big exit will be on this resistance. Because overall, I mean, stocks, you know, they're pretty bullish overall, and you know, with the pandemic and everything, online sales, they're not going to decrease, right? It's going to keep increasing over the next 10 years. So more people are going to be adapting to buying online compared to going to a retail store. So all the online e-commerce stores, they're all going to see a surge. You know, people in the States might not be buying as much on Alibaba, but there's a lot of dropshippers that go here, you know, to source the products, get products off the ground. So yeah, I think it's a good long-term hold for sure. What else is there for stocks? JP Morgan is okay, almost my stop loss, but it's going back up. This was an XMO trade. There's a good long entry on the daily if you guys want to take that one. Apple just had their split, so Apple, they're having a stock split. Everyone's trying to long it, but honestly, I can see some shorts coming in first. Let's see how it goes. Like stock trade, what are your opinions, what are your thoughts on export and stocks? I think it's very easy, very simple. At least for me, all you have to do is, you know, find falling stocks, find a good support level to buy, and then you're good. I wouldn't short stocks. Look for buy opportunities, but it's really so it's a lot easier to trade stocks than it is forex, but it's also not as fun, I would say. It's a little slower. Yeah, XMO works really well with stocks, at least for swing trading. Of course, if you go into day trading, like 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour on stocks, that's where, you know, you need more experience. But for swing trading stocks, I don't think it can get any easier. I think that's the easiest market to trade, especially if you have something like BFT. David is asking, I'm struggling with how to document journal trades. I set up the potential strategy mode trades yesterday, but none of them have triggered yet. When would you journal those? Once they fire, do you take screenshots each time of navigator, etc.? Just need more guidance on that. Yeah, you want to see what you want to have your entry chart, you want to have your exit chart. So you want to capture price when it's hitting your limits, and then you want to, so once the trade is opened, and then you want to capture your screenshots when the trade is closed. So either when it hits stop loss or if it hits TP. You could take a screenshot while, you know, price is heading into your limit orders, but I don't think that's going to be too beneficial. Most important is your entries and exits. So once the trade is opened, that's when you would journal the trade. But you can already put it into your spreadsheet, whatever you use, and once it's executed, just then put in the values then. Or you can put in the values because they're going to be preset anyway, and then once the trade is opened, then you put in the screenshot. And if you miss the screenshot, you can go back with replay and then take a screenshot like that. Apple in the 5 minutes today was nice. I had a looked quite nice. I think I had a good bounce there on. I wasn't able to trade it just because I was busy, but I had a quick look. Yeah, this is the one I looked at. These lower highs. It was a good buy too. You could have taken a buy on this support. Okay, cool. Are you buying stocks, no time frames, or doing it with daily? I'm sticking to the daily for stocks because I don't want to look at them, just set and forget, just kind of the break free method. So I'm just swing trading stocks. Congrats on your trades on Apple, Michael, good job. Linda's asking, what's the green line on the screen in EMA and why I'm using it for? Honestly, I don't know why I still have it on my chart. I barely use it, but it's good for short-term trends. It's 200 EMA. It just gives you a better perspective or prices in an uptrending, downtrending. So if you're having issues with your short-term trends, then you can use this 200 EMA if you want. So EMA 200 for trading, for example, 1 hour. Yeah, you can trade that on any time frame. I don't use the 200 EMA for that, but you can use it if you want. If it helps, you use it. If it doesn't help, you don't use it. Is trading indices methods different from Forex? I wouldn't say so. I would say it's pretty similar to Forex. Stocks is a lot different than Forex, but indices in metals or commodities, I think they're pretty similar. If you can trade Forex, you can trade indices. If you trade stocks, you've never traded Forex before, you won't be able to trade indices. And same thing with if you've been trading indices, you're going to be able to trade Forex. They're all very similar. It depends on which ones. So, you know, the US 30 is going to be different than, you know, the S&P, or because, you know, US 30 has a little more ups and downs. And, you know, some markets, they just go up. Some markets, they do both, more or less. So it kind of depends. But overall, it's the same thing. Good thing is, once you can trade Forex, you understand price action and market structure. From there, you can really trade anything. Like you can pick up stocks, you can pick up, you know, crypto, indices. Doesn't really matter. Once you understand the market, it doesn't matter what you look at. It's all the same. Stocks I don't hedge really. I mean, stocks are a hedge for my trading because it's a different market. But inside of my stock portfolio, I don't hedge any trades. I just make sure I don't have too much open. So if something happens, then, you know, in stocks, if there's a crash in stocks, most of the stocks, the majority are going to crash. So I try not to open too many things. Okay, cool guys. If there's no further questions, then this is pretty much it for today. If you guys have further questions, put them into the group chat on Global, and then we can help you out there. Lots of awesome, good looking people on that chat to help you out. Martin is always on there, very helpful. So he's part of the dojo. He knows the stuff. So if you have questions, he's going to be there to answer it for you. I'll be there too, hopefully sometime today. But yeah. All right, guys. Have a good week. And again, if you guys have questions, put them in the chat. Hopefully we'll have some more trades come up throughout the week, and you guys will be excited about the updates that the Navigator is going to be pushing out. Lots of new development there. Don't want to talk about it too much, but yeah, lots new stuff in development. You guys will enjoy it. It's going to help make you a better trader, and it's going to give you better results. So I'll see you guys next week and the Q&A. And again, on Sundays we have the weekly trade reviews that come out every Sunday. So make sure to watch those as well. All right, guys. Bye-bye.